Okay, so let's talk today about the pain of being a fully expressed, powerful woman. My name's Dion Johnson. I coach senior leaders, and today is day two of my 36-day video series that is really serving as a countdown to my 60th birthday. In just 35 days from now, I turn 60, and I'm taking stock. I'm reviewing, I'm thinking about what it is that I'm certain of, what the ideas that I've gathered over the years, what are the tenets of my work and my leadership and my values and my beliefs that really shape the way that I work with women. I'm here to share them with you, to introduce myself to you if we haven't met before, or to reintroduce myself to you if we've known each other over the years. And I just want to share with you who I am now, right? So, one of the principles that has come up over the years as I've been doing this work, as I've been coaching leaders and I've been working on my own development as a leader, is something that I call the power principle. And the power principle says simply this, that you are powerful, that you're powerful, I'm powerful, that women are powerful. Now, forgive me if it sounds a little bit obvious, but I don't think it is obvious. The whole notion of being powerful as a woman is shrouded in ambiguity. There's confusion around it, there's fear, there's resistance, that we're somewhat unsure about what we mean when we say powerful woman, and we're certainly not all on the same page. Globally, there's a great debate, and actually, I would argue that the debate's been going on for centuries about what it means to be a powerful woman. So for me, this whole concept of power is a really fascinating one. I think about power as the capability, the ability to make something happen, to make something better, to I think that power is the fuel for leadership. It's the thing that gets things done, right? And when I was a child, I had this deep, strong sense that I am powerful. I have this deep, strong sense of my own power, that I'm mighty. I sensed that I was here to do powerful things, that I was here to lead, that I was here to make a significant mark. I couldn't articulate it back then, but I remember, even as I look back, I remember this distinct sense of my own power. And that wasn't always a good thing. When I was younger, my power was always getting me into trouble. I always found myself sort of caught up in power struggles. I come from a very long line of powerful women, powerful matriarchs, and often I would just be going head to head with, trying to express myself and trying to exert my power. And I think that, I was just very immature as a leader back then. Obviously, I was a child and I didn't know the difference between being forceful and being powerful, got them confused and conflated when they're not actually the same thing. But the truth is that powerful expression wasn't a joyful thought for me. Powerful expression was associated with pain for me. And then later on, when I became a midwife, walking alongside women at probably one of the most womanly times of a woman's life when she's pregnant or bringing forth, having babies. Well, there's where I really, really saw the power of what I call womanity. I really got to see with my own eyes this vastness, this expansiveness, this deep, powerful essence that I associated with being a woman. I saw how we are able to tap into other realms of wisdom. I saw how we are able to do hard things under difficult circumstances. I saw this expansive capacity to really to do hard things, to know what needed to be done, to lead and to know what to be done next. I can't explain it. Words fail me, but I saw the essence of humanity. And that's really where the power principle came in for me. It started taking root in my midwifery days, and I began to see the connection between power, women, and leadership. That was really how it all started to evolve from me. And now I'm fully persuaded that that power that I've been encountering over the decades, that's the power that the world needs now more than ever before. I think that the marketplace leadership, governance, the well-being of society, the decision-making forums and circles and spaces really needs the input, the contribution of fully expressed, powerful humanity. And I know that you can say, well, Dion, we're there. And it's true. Like, it's not strange now to see women leading nations and Fortune 500 companies, right? We are actually in the room. The problem's not that we're not in the room. The problem, I feel, is that we're not yet fully expressed once we get there, that we're not really yet showing up fully in our power once we get there. And I know this to be true. I've seen it and I care about this because people are crying, dying, and suffering as a direct and indirect way of the way that we lead and do and see business. I know that at least I perceive that we're not even scratching the surface yet of what it really means to be showing up fully expressed in our power as humanity, in our sovereignty in senior leadership spaces. We're in the room, but we're not yet fully expressing our power in those spaces. That's my conviction. And we'll talk so much more about this over the rest of the series. But for today, I want to share with you that this notion of being powerful yet not showing up fully expressed in that power has been the struggle of my professional life. It's really a personal thing for me. And that over the decades, sometimes unconsciously, sometimes secretly, sometimes, in fact, all the time, nonsensically, because I know I'm powerful, but somehow I still end up showing up with awkwardness, with double-mindedness, with doubts, with conflict in the expression of my power, about the expression of my power as a woman and a leader and a change maker. I know that I'm not alone in this. I know that I'm not the only one. In fact, over the decades in my work with women, I like to say that I work behind the mask. I like to say that I work woman to woman, up close and personal. And I've heard the stories, heard the stories, I've heard the personal accounts of how we as women have got our own version of the story of how we learned that to be expressive in our power is somehow dangerous. To be expressive in our power is somehow risky or costly or dangerous, even. And it's not always conscious, but it's painful, you know? It's painful to be powerful, yet contained in that power, contained in the expression of it. It's so painful to be powerful, but conflicted about expressing our power. It's painful. I'm positing that it really is painful to be powerful, yet conforming to other people's expectations about how we should be expressing that power. Some of us have had to put ourselves to sleep to not feel the pain associated with that. And there are many of us, that's where many of us are. That's where that's where I've been, and that's where I know many of us are. Powerful, but settling for some kind of watered down version of our expression, our powerful expression. We've been schooled, we've been schooled over centuries to make our powerful expression palatable, acceptable, and tolerable. And I think the world is suffering as a direct result of our underexpression. Women have been socially conditioned to dilute and to negotiate our powerful expression. And I think that's costly. I think it's costing our world. I think it's costing us progress. I think it's costing us new results and new solutions, new ways forward. I think it's costly when women don't express themselves as powerfully as we ought to, as powerfully as we could do in leadership. And this is the problem that I care most about. This is what I think about most. This is what I talk to God about most. This is what God talks to me about most. This problem of underexpressed, powerful womanity. I think that it's time for us as women to wake up to the pain of this underexpression because actually the pain's not the problem. We don't like pain, do we? But it's not the problem. The pain is the alarm. The pain is the pointing to the problem of our underexpression. The pain is the invitation for us to get serious about tackling this underexpression of our power. It's the call for you and I to pay attention to the part of you that is not yet expressed, that you're not yet bringing to the table, that you're not yet showing up as in senior leadership spaces. We're going to talk much more about this tomorrow. But in the meantime, if you're watching this and you are resonating with what I'm saying, if there's cohesion with what I'm saying, if there's, if you're resonating, you know what I'm saying to be true, it's touching something in you, you're nodding away because it's resonating, then listen. That's a clue that we go together. That's a clue that you and I are connected somehow, that this conversation is for us to have. So I'm inviting you to follow along, to click the bell, to register, subscribe, do whatever you have to do on this platform for us to be able to stay connected and for us to continue this conversation. In the meantime, see you tomorrow.